निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशकालिने जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद। हरे कृष्ण जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। I think no need to listen. Village sometimes. City. So we are very happy to get this opportunity. Krishna should arrange our devotees to move around maybe a bit more often. You seem to have a natural temple here. I mean, big space.
Last time it was, last was it was upstairs.
Yeah.
Here we want to have it.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Yeah. It's very spacious. Yeah.
Narayan.
Narayan.
Narayan is right.
Narayan should not be crying. Really, tears. And the devotee home, when there is Srila Prabhupada's desire that the focus is not on Krishna, then very easily one can get distracted. Of course, one can become distracted in any asana. Brahmachari is also. But especially important for householders to our foremost acharyas, whom we all know, Srila Narada Muni. Narada Muni is of special importance actually for all of us, mainly because he is very expert and shows by personal example also, very expert in terms of the science of bhakti, devotional service. And he is also very knowledgeable in terms of Varnasana Dharma. Dharma is one of our favorite words. It's very much part of our vocabulary. We means our sampradaya, our whole Vedic culture. The word dharma is meant to be spoken about and especially understood more and more. We are followers of what is called Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma. The eternal, natural occupation of all living entities. And the wonderful thing about Sanatan Dharma is that not only those who are liberated souls in Vaikuntha, in the spiritual world, not only are they practicing and living this Sanatan Dharma, but anyone within the material world also who is favored, who has a great fortune to come in contact with this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, that can also revive that same spirit, that same mentality, that same mood. And even within this material world, we can experience what people in the spiritual world, what living entities in Goloka Vrindavan are also experiencing. And as a matter of fact, our endeavor should be, wherever we may be living, whatever we may be doing, whatever we may be speaking, we can, if we are making that effort, if we're cultivating this most important revive and actually live as those living entities that in the spiritual world. So, in this way it is explained by our acharyas that the life of a devotee is, as Krishna confirms also, Vidyā Rajaguriyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pradakshamagamam Bharadam Sukham Kartam Agayam. This process of bhakti devotion to form with great happiness and satisfaction. And the same those muktaji, liberated souls in the spiritual world, experience and live every moment. That is the greatest fortune for all of us, actually, who at some particular point have come in contact with this process of bhakti, devotional service, by the mercy of our founder Acharya, of course, with the migration of Prabhupada. And to the extent that we are experiencing and realizing its importance, to the extent that we are able to realize, then to that extent we will want to share that with. It's a fortunate living entity. Yeah. Hare Krishna. This is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur prays, that I don't mind being born again in any kind of species, but let it be in the house of the devotee.
Kita janama ho yathatva das.
Huh?
He says, Kita janama ho yathatva das.
Yeah. So anyways, just put on some tree or something, perhaps. So this is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. We have opportunities actually every single day. If we, Narada Muni is giving us some very good, simple, but for householders, it begins first of 5 most important activities is every day to actually engage in worshipping the Lord. Activities is every day to actually engage in worshipping the Lord. It may not be possible for every family to have an altar, or deities actually. Actually, it is possible to have an altar, and one should have. It may not be possible for everyone to have deities, but having a photo altar, even very often temples begin with photo altars. The very first temple I joined The altar was what we call Panchatantra altar. Guru and Gauranga, picture Prabhupada and Panchatantra. And the altar was actually a cardboard box.
No.
And within a few months, we kind of promoted the cardboard box to the kitchen table. It's a gradual process. Then finally, after some time, we made a proper altar. We didn't have the Vyasasana proper, but as we applied the process, gradually we began to understand a bit more. And also by applying the process nicely and properly, Krishna, as Paramatma within the heart, is inspiring and again giving actually transcendental knowledge. So it's very nice to visit the devotee's home, to witness, to have darshan of the Srimad Bhagavatam sets and the pictures of Prabhupada and altars, etc. like that. I think this week is still Slavanam week. There's a, it's a 1 week. Anyway, someone wrote to me just a few days ago from, where was it? From New Zealand. They are extending their Slavanam week. So, they invite different devotees to speak. And I didn't get a chance to reply yet. But yeah, Krishna consciousness is very much about Slavanam. Slavanam. One time, devotees were asking Srila Prabhupada, how is it that your lectures are so wonderful and your books are also so enlightening? And Prabhupada replied in a very humble way that if I have any credit for, as a matter of fact, one time he also explained how his own Guru Maharaj had made that observation at this here. So hearing it, every day we should be hearing something, either by reading, reading out loud is also nice, or hearing some lectures. We're meant every day actually to hear a Bhagavatam class, if not in our home, online. There's really no excuse not to hear. But we should be hearing, the right subject matters. I was coming here actually to Hyderabad for a few days, and just a few hours ago, some news came that the main reason I was coming here for has changed somewhat. So anyways, our schedule is not quite yet made, but there won't be any change in the upcoming, from the 30th, I think the devotees have been informed, we're having some 3 or 4 day program in Kanyaban. Who has been to Kanyaban? Raise your hand. Who knows about Kanyaban? Who doesn't know about Kanyaban? Okay? Yeah, Kanyaban is an up-and-coming or relatively recent project. How many kilometers from Hyderabad? Maybe 60, 70 kilometers from Hyderabad. And I would say that the special, I've been there a few times, I would say that the special feature of Kanyaban, and I'm sure Sri Ram Prabhu, if he's listening, would be happy to hear this. The special feature of Kanyaban is that it will be definitely the first project in Telangana, if not in the major part of India itself, to officially have, because that's one of the programs coming up, to officially have a functional operating Varnashram college. Kamirvan is one of the 12 forests of Vrindavan. Who's been to Vrindavan? Who doesn't know about Vrindavan? I don't think any hand will come up. So there are many forests. 12, actually there's thousands of forests in Vrindavan. There are 1,000 main forests, and then of course it's kind of like the gopis, you know. We have our small village in Indonesia, well, relatively small. It's on 150 acres of land, and the devotees there are gradually introducing or reproducing the different forests of Vrindavan. We're also trying to do that in Western Canada, where we have an even much Hare Krishna. The community in Indonesia is actually larger population-wise, but we have devotees living on a project that is covering 2,000 acres of land. You can easily get lost there, if you will. Anyways, this is part of what Srila Prabhupada wanted us all to do, to wherever we are, that's the standing order of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to take up this process of chanting the holy name and Krishna consciousness, so that our individual personal lives can become purified. And the more we become purified individually, we will begin to understand more and more that one of the end results of becoming purified is understanding the mission of the Lord, and to help others also cultivate, come in contact with this knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So, thank you all very much for attending the program here today. And we can all end the program by enthusiastically chanting Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama Rama,
Hare Hare,
Hare Hare.
Jai Sri Hatnam Sankirtan ki
Jai.
Jai, Sri Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Om Premanande.
Hare Hare.
So we have a few garlands for some of our younger generation. Anyone having a birthday today?